Hey, what's up, everybody? Day 17 of 3131, and I've got my buddy here, Mr. Zach. He's hanging out. And we're watching my favorite Vin Diesel movie, period. And it's a movie I didn't even think I was going to like when I first saw it, but it's way better than it has any right to be, right? And no, I'm not talking about the Chronicles of Riddick or anything like that. I'm talking about, well, it's funny that I even mentioned that. Well, then I go burping after eating something while watching things and hiccuping. But it is basically the start of that whole thing. It's Pitch Black. Pitch Black is my favorite Vin Diesel movie. I'm not a big fan of Vin Diesel in general, but mostly just because he became like the same thing with all the Fast and Furious movies. But oh my God, is Pitch Black such a great movie. It is way better than it needs to be. And the only reason that I even own the movie is because we were going to go see Chronicles of Riddick back in the day, right? And I really wanted to see it. I thought the trailer looked great. I had no idea that it was a sequel to Pitch Black back then. And the only reason that, like I said, I got Pitch Black was because by buying it, I got a free ticket to go see Chronicles of Riddick. And I was like, I might as well watch it if I bought it, right? Like, okay, well, I've kind of wanted to see it. And I've heard some good things about it. And holy crap, it's way more like intense than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be some cheesy type of like, sci-fi horror-ish movie. Okay, so the monsters, they can't see and he has the ability to see in the dark so he can see the monsters. Well, they can see, but the planet's like pitch black so the people can't see. And it just turned out to be, and you can hear Charlie in the background because she wants to be a part of the video too. But I really thought that it had a good story going for it. Characters will eventually return in the Riddick movies. I really was so impressed at how, like, genuinely, like, the terror actually, like, ramped up in a bunch of the scenes. And they did a really good job in just keeping you kind of on your feet. And is there cheesy lines in this movie? There's cheesy lines in this movie. But it's just fun. Like, the overall, everything is just fun. And Riddick actually is a pretty good character, just in general. It's one of those characters, I've said this multiple times about how people fit into certain roles and they do certain things. And, as much as people like, oh yeah, Dom is Vin Diesel's, like, that's his character. I feel like that's just Vin Diesel. Where I feel like Riddick is, like, actually the character he's kind of meant to play, where he can just be a silent anti-hero and he can be badass when he needs to be badass, and he just, like, there's a really just big personification of that character. Now, has that character been in some not so great movies like Chronicles of Riddick, where that had potential and just kind of like tapered out? And then there was another movie, I forgot what that one was called, where that one was actually a little bit better than Chronicles of Riddick, in my opinion, because it went back down to kind of the Pitch Black, like, stripped down. And maybe that's why I really like this movie, is because it feels like it's really just kind of, like, stripped down. It doesn't rely heavily on special effects and big-ass action sequences or anything like that. It's really just about survival, and it's about them trying to find a way off the planet, right? And there isn't a whole lot to the sets. The story, even the ending is honestly surprising with some of the deaths that happen towards the end of the movie that I didn't think were going to go on. And especially that it seemed like it was going to be a little formulaic, and it didn't feel completely formulaic. So if you've never seen Pitch Black before, you need to give yourself a chance and watch this movie. It's definitely something that I would actually love to do for the podcast as a full episode. But for now, you're going to have to just rely on me saying that this is a 4 out of 5, blind motherfuckers. And just enjoy the movie. Like, don't go in with giant expectations about it, that it's going to be like this grandiose thing. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy a good film. So, we'll see you tomorrow, another one of these 31 and 31s, and hopefully my nose will finally get over this goddamn allergy, and I won't sound like I'm, like, completely stuffed up all the time. All right, see you guys.